My thoughts, my opinion. Sports podcast.
Yo, what it is? Welcome back to another episode of MTMO Sports Podcast, Doug. Yo, I'm so glad to be back to another live episode, which is my now 126th thought, yo. That is a lot of episodes that I had produced, man. And just to give you a little update, yo, I am 1 week away from my podcast anniversary, man. And oh man, it is going to be dope to be coming up on my 3rd year into this podcast world. And I'm just so blessed and grateful to everything and everybody who I ran into. It was on a positive note, man. And like I said, man, I just can't wait to really come into my 3rd year, man. But if you're not already, please hit that subscribe button as I am on the road to 1,000 subscribers. You feel me? So if you know somebody that want to be a friend who can possibly be your friend, yo, let them know that MTMO has one of the dopest sports podcasts out here in the YouTube world. You feel me? And you will not be disappointed in the topics that I have, man. So please like, share, and like I said, subscribe to this YouTube channel so I am on a road to 1,000 subscribers. You feel me? So enough of that promotion right there, man. Like I said, it's going to be a dope show. You feel me? Because I got a lot of dope topics to talk about. We already know that the 2024 Olympics is about to be on its way, man. And I got to give my opinion about the women's national team and the men's national team. I'm going to give my opinion about that. I'm going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys. Get ready to have another miserable season possibly because one of their top wide receivers will be holding out of camp. Going to give y'all my opinion on that and what the Cowboys is in for. And why the NFL season is starting to ramp up. It's starting to get the buzz. Training camps are in session. We are like a week away from the first preseason game, the Hall of Fame preseason game, man. And I can't wait for NFL season to start. So why not give y'all my top 10 quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers? I'm pretty sure that some of y'all might be a little teed off of some of the people I might have left off this list, but it's my list. Can't get mad. So when I get to that segment, man, I would like for all my followers, if you watching this episode right now live, please make sure that you commented your top 10 quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs, and we can compare our list. You feel me? So, like I said, man, the 2024 Olympics in Paris is about to be on its way, man, and I had to talk about our ladies of the WNBA who have made the national team, you feel me? And you can just see it is star-studded, loaded on this team. You got the future Hall of Famer Diana Taurasi. You got Brittany Griner, who I believe is going to be a Hall of Fame, who is also saying that this could possibly be her last Olympics, and she could out to travel and go across these on her own terms, you feel me? Because we already know about the situation she had dealt with a couple of years ago. You got Breanna Stewart. You got Asia Wilson, who I believe is this year's MVP. You got Alicia Thomas. You got Alicia Gray. You got Jackie Young. You got Kelsey Plum. You got Nafisa Collier. You got Kayla Copper. You got a star-loaded team. Now, this about a week or so ago at the WNBA All-Star Weekend, man, we just seen that Team USA women had lost to Team WNBA, and a lot of people was in my comments on my YouTube channel was saying that the WNBA made a lot of mistakes. Team USA made a mistake of leaving a couple players off, such as Caitlin Clark should have been a rookie that made the team. Arike should have most definitely made the team. And a lot of people were saying that Team USA looked old. And I'm not going to fully agree with the oldness. Now, like I said, yes, there are some seasoned vets on that team, like Breanna Stewart and Diana Taurasi. who's been there, you know what I mean, for a lot of years. But I believe that you have to sprinkle in a little bit of vets that's seasoned, in my opinion, to make sure that things is going wrong. And we got to sit here and think that some of these women had already competed and made gold and already showed you that they are capable of bringing the gold home. And that's one of the reasons why certain players was left off, like a Caitlin Clark. Now I understand everybody was saying that Caitlin Clark could possibly open up the floor the way she leading the league and assists and all that good stuff. But that's not the main thing. We can't just keep worrying about single things that one player can do. It got to make sure that it fits right with the group. It got to make sure that it's the good team chemistry. I'm not saying that Caitlin Clark would have messed up the team chemistry, but why would we give it to a lady such as Caitlin Clark who hasn't really won anything, in my opinion? That's my only beef for not giving to Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark didn't win on national championships in college, and she just getting to the pros, so we already know she haven't won a championship, not even the Commissioner Cup yet in the WNBA. So that's my only reason. Now, leaving Enrique off, I don't know what Team USA was thinking, man. Y'all see how hot that she can get, man, in the blink of an eye. Just off of I think she's the best individual ball handler in the game, man, and that can score off the dribble. I think that Enrique goes number one. When she showed me at that All-Star game that we have to mention her and these MVP conversations and stuff like that. Now, we all know hands down it's going to be given to A'ja Wilson, which well deserved because A'ja Wilson just been putting on a magnificent season. You feel me? So, but Enrique, I don't understand why was she left off the team. I'm pretty sure later on in life we're going to hear why the reasons why she was left off the team and stuff like that. But I still believe that Team USA women's can still have a great Olympics, and I believe that they will win gold. And my main reason why I believe that, they will win gold is all because of A'ja Wilson. This team will go as far as A'ja Wilson will go. And we already seen that A'ja Wilson is on another platform, another level when it comes to WNBA season. She shows you why that she's MVP. She is showing us why that she is the most dominant female in the planet in my eyes. I don't think nobody is dominant more than A'ja Wilson. And long as A'ja Wilson can dominate in the Olympics, Team USA will bring on the gold. Now, it's going to have to also come from not just in the paint. It's going to have to be a collective thing. Sabrina most definitely going to have to bring in that shooting skill. Now, we've seen that she was struggling towards going to the All-Star break, but I need to see that Sabrina, if Sabrina can spread the floor, most definitely she will give scary hours and scary points for the women's of the Team USA, man. And another lady that can most definitely help that out is Diana Taurasi. She is going to have the most opportunities to make sure that this team stays together. She is the vet. She is the leader. She is the voice of Team USA. She's the one that's going to have the best IQ of the game and how the pace of this game is going to be. She's the one that's really going to help A'ja Wilson. Now, A'ja Wilson doesn't need a lot of help, but I believe that Diana Taurasi can most definitely bring what she brings, her skill set, what she brings to the game each and every night that what she does in the WNBA. I believe that Team Women's USA will be fine. I would totally believe that because they also got other stars that can really get into the paint, like Breanna Stewart. People just keep on sleeping on Stewie, like Stewie is not an MVP or won multiple championships and even national championships. She also going to bring another level of IQ and scoring because once Stewie, in my eyes, I believe Stewie is the best mid-range in the WNBA. She has the best stroke. She's able to score efficiently off that mid-range, especially off that elbow. So I really just think that Stewie really is going to be a big help for A'ja to spread that floor and get down the USA to bring home gold. Another lady I want us to really look at is Brittany Griner. I don't really think there's going to be too many females that's going to be Brittany Griner height. And I think that Brittany Griner is really going to show out in this Olympics. Because, like I said, all the trauma and stuff that she had to deal with the last time she had went overseas. Now she's just her first time being back overseas since her situation. I think Brittany Griner is really going to show out. She is really going to help A'ja Wilson a lot. Because she's always going to be, she's going to get double teamed, see a lot of double teams, just like A'ja Wilson. But it's like you're going to have to pick your poison. Do you double team Brittany Griner? Do you double team A'ja Wilson? And that's a hard pick to pick right there in my eyes. You feel me? So I just really think that Team Women's USA, that first game against the Team WNBA, it just really showed that chemistry and them locking in and being able to have more practice time and stuff like that really is a must. It's a need. Because like I said, now they, as soon as they had took on Germany, as soon as they came to London, they spanked Germany. And once they spanked Germany, man, we seen that we was like, oh, well, maybe that other game was a fluke. You feel me? Maybe against the WNBA, it was just because they had fresh legs, the energy was, persuading that way and stuff like that. So I just really think that Team USA women is going to be okay. And I think that they most definitely going to go undefeated throughout this whole Olympics. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that right there. They are going undefeated. I really don't see no other country as far as females that's going to stop Team USA and it's going to be able to handle Team USA. You feel me? All right, I got a comment real quick. I got my guy that's keeping it real with the Who That Sports Podcast. Good show, my brother. Keep grinding. I greatly appreciate you, man. I would love to have you on this show also. So yeah, I most definitely believe that Women's Team USA is going to be okay and will bring that gold home. You feel me? They, like I said, they are stacked, they loaded, they have everything that they really need: shooting, rebound, efficient scoring, and the IQ. So I believe that that's going to be good enough. That's going to bring that gold home for the women. Now, let's switch it over to the men's side. As we still sit here and see, we got Tyrese Halliburton, we got D Book, we got LeBron James, we got Steph Curry, we got Drew Holiday, we got Anthony Edwards, Bam Adebayo, Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid, Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, and don't mind the other guy like Kawhi Leonard. He's no longer on the team anymore. They replaced him with Derek White. And got a couple things about that. You feel me? Number one, let's start with the Kawhi Leonard and Derek White replacement. Kawhi Leonard, I just think that I had this conversation a little bit with my last episode with my guy B Harley, man. Shout out to you on the last episode, man. And it's something really fishy about this whole situation with Kawhi Leonard because number one, Team USA knew that Kawhi Leonard didn't finish the season, wasn't able to play in the playoffs and stuff like that, but you still chose him. Then y'all let him come on to the camp. He was able to practice for 2 to 3 days, and then after that, he was in. They first the Team USA said that it was the Clippers that pulled Kawhi out. Now it's the Clippers saying that it was Team USA that kind of moved on for Kawhi. Like I said, man, I really just think I understand who Kawhi Leonard is. I believe that Kawhi Leonard has made a name for himself, and we can just see why and what he did in the past is the reason why he was on Team USA. But my opinion, man, if he didn't make the playoffs, y'all should have really thought about that, putting him on the team. All right, now let's switch over to Derek White. Derek White is a good defensive player, two-way player. He can most definitely shoot the rock also. But is that the best that you can really go with? Now, like I said, it's no shade to Derek White. He brings a great skill set to the game, but I believe it was a lot of players that really should have been maybe on standby notice. You know what I mean? Number one, Jaylen Brown. I felt like Jaylen Brown got snubbed. Now I understand the whole Nike situation and how I guess his persona, how he presents himself to be, and how he's just a voice. You feel me? He doesn't mind speaking his doesn't mind speaking his mind. Golly, tongue tied right there. But so they kind of don't want to go his way, and which I just think that sometimes politics and this shouldn't really go hand in hand. That's why they also skipped over Kyrie. But I think Jaylen Brown would have been a better if you're gonna go the Celtics route, you should have went with Jaylen Brown. I think that he brings a way better, a more advanced, I'm not gonna say way better, but more advanced skill set than what Derek White brings. Because Jaylen Brown can be your defensive player of the year in my eyes, because Jaylen Brown is not scared to play any opponent. Like I said Kyrie also, but we already know the politics is pretty much absolute those two. So if you're not going to go with those two because of politics, now let's go to Pablo Banchero for the Orlando Magics. He was on the select team. I mean, he was on Team USA before. Why not now that he's not getting a call? I believe that he can bring that same skill set that we are looking for. He brings the defense. He's a nice big body. He's about 6'10", and the guy's a scorer. Even if you're not going to use him a lot, I still think that you can use. He would have been a good fit to come on to Team USA, but I still believe that Team USA is going to bring home gold. Now, my only thing about Team USA is that they have to find the top dog. They're going to have to find who is going to be the number one option when it comes to this offense. I understand that some of these guys is, like pass, get the best shot and stuff like that. But what made the Redeem team was Kobe mentality. It was Kobe that set the stage, that said, like, I'm the top dog. The offense go through me. If we go on a half court set, it has to swing it to me, and I will make the best play in that option. And I believe that it's plenty of good option players that you can use in that same mindset. The first guy I come to mind is Anthony Edwards. He has that mentality. He has that dog in him. He has to take over. I'm not saying that nobody else on that team has that dog, but he has that Kobe mentality. And I think that Anthony Edwards can bring that mentality as well. So I believe that if you can get Anthony Edwards a lot of touch, especially if he's a starter, he already has the mindset of being a number one option. He already told you he believes he's the number one option. So I think that Anthony Edwards really had to make a name and really be the first option on his team. Then it comes with like a person like KD. KD will be the next guy up. And then it can be like LeBron. Now, the thing about it is what I seen from the last Team USA exhibition games was that LeBron had to save them the last two games. That can't happen into this Olympics. Now, maybe it can happen once, but it cannot be a constant thing that LeBron has to save this team. I really just think that that if it really comes down to it, LeBron is kind of limited of kind of winning the game. He's not as athletic as he used to be. He's not the same LeBron James from the Redeem team. But yes, he can bully his way to the paint. He can most definitely get to the score, and he's still a little bit of athletic left in his body. But at the same time, we can't depend on LeBron. This is where it really comes down to KD being maybe the guy who's going to take the last shot if it's not going to be Anthony Edwards. Easy sniper, the slim reaper. I really believe that those two is going to really be the key focus for Team USA, because you got Steph Curry who's going to spread the floor. Everybody's going to worry about him as soon as he crosses half court. We already know that. You know what I mean? We're not asking Steph to put up 20-something shots as he has to do in Golden State. We just need Steph to hit quite a few threes when it's needed to be, when he's open. You feel me? Now, Steph going to do Steph, you know what I mean, once he get the cooking, that's just how it is. But we just I just feel like that Anthony Edwards and KD should be the guys that's going to do the most scoring in the beginning. The majority of the scoring, not the beginning, but the majority of the scoring. And then everybody else is going to have to feed off of those two energy. And LeBron's energy also. So I just think that it should go Ant-Man, KD, then LeBron to be your guys, your three options, your first three options. I just really just think that's how that should go. Now, Anthony Davis is going to play a big key part on his defensive floor. Anthony Edwards, who in my opinion should have been defensive player this last season. Anthony Edwards has been consistently the best defensive player on his team. So Anthony Davis most definitely is going to be a key factor when it comes to this defensive floor. I think that he's going to be the anchor. I think he's going to have more minutes and more time than Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid might start the game, but I don't think he's going to quite finish a lot of those games. I think it's going to be Anthony Davis. And that's the best option, in my opinion, is having Anthony Davis finish the game maybe more than Joel Embiid, because I think that sometimes Joel Embiid maybe get a little exhausted. He might get once he gets exhausted, he start getting sloppy with his game. Now, for Anthony Davis, man, like I said, he's going to be the guy that can roam, block the shots, and you know that you can block the ball off the rim while it's sitting on the cylinder. And I think that really will help Anthony Davis out because he's already at the rim majority of the time. So I just really just think that Anthony Davis had to keep up. Hopefully, fingers crossed, but he's been good so far that no freak injury happens. That's going to be the only thing that's going to stop Anthony Davis, in my opinion. So I just really think that Team USA is really built right. You know what I mean? I understand I had a little controversy with saying that Dirk White is really what my first option. But I really just think that this team is really put well together with all the IQs, with all the guys that knows their roles. And you know what? Before I finish this segment, another guy who's really going to be important is Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday is going to be very important with Anthony Davis on that defensive end because Jrue Holiday can guard from 1 through 3, maybe even 4 at times, depending on what type of 4 it is. If it's a stretch 4, Jrue Holiday can get there. And Jrue Holiday is arguably probably the second best defensive guy on his team, and I will put Jrue Holiday on the best offensive player on any country. You feel me? To lock him up. I think that Jrue Holiday is going to have a great Olympics. You feel me? And I think that Jrue Holiday is going to really show the world that he's one of the most underrated players that we do not give love to or talk about in the NBA. You feel me? So that's how I really feel about Jrue Holiday. So for Team USA men, I want to say that these guys will go undefeated, but I feel like they can slip up and lose one. I really do. Because they damn near slip up and lost too. You feel me? But I really just think that Team USA can slip up and lose one. You know what? They're not going to lose one. They are capable of losing one, but I don't think they're going to lose one. I think the team that's really going to give them problems. At first, I said Canada, but I think Canada is going to be the number 2 team that gives USA the problem. If USA wind up meeting France in any of those type of Olympic playoffs, I think that's the team that can probably give them a little bit of scare. I think that team can really go down the wire. I mean, that game can really go down to the wire. Because they got height, they got speed, and Wemby can do it all. We already seen what Shorty can do in the NBA. Now we playing in his setting, his type of game, and I think that Wemby can really going to ball out in this Olympics. So I think that France will be a number 1 problem for Team USA, and I think that Canada, even though they stomped Canada in that expedition game, but it's just a warm-up game. You feel me? So we done seen Team USA come up close, losing to Team Select. And everybody was saying like, don't worry about it. It's just the first practice. But they damn near lost their last exhibition game too. Got a couple of comments before I switch over to segments, man. Are you concerned in any way with Team USA men's basketball lackluster performance of late? Yes, I'm a little concerned. Like I said, the way they played their last couple of games, man. You can't just keep depending on LeBron to actually win a game for us. That's why I said that somebody going to have to play that Kobe role. Somebody is still going to have to say that they are the dog of this team. And I think that that's where Team USA men really lack of, is that they don't really show somebody, like I said, when they had that Kobe, that when Kobe came over there and really showed you, like, nah, it's me. I'm going to show y'all it's me. And he proved it. He didn't really do it on the scoring. He played hella defense, and he re-energized the redeemed team. So if we can get somebody like that, that's why I said I think Anthony Edwards can be that guy. My guy Mike B, KD is still out. No, sir, KD is back, my guy. He just didn't play in none of the expedition games. He really just took concern and sat out for his body, but KD is available. He has been practicing again. And we most definitely will see him in the Olympics. This up and coming games. You feel me? So I just believe that's why. And my starting five, if I'm Steve Kerr, this is who will be my starting five. It will be Steph Curry. It will be Anthony Edwards. It will be Kevin Durant. It will be LeBron James. And it will be Joel Embiid. I take Curry because, number one, like I said, he spread the flow out. And it's Steph Curry. Ant-Man, because I feel like he can take on that Kobe role. KD, it's the grim, it's the Slim Reaper. You feel me? He's going to eat, and like I said, you need that efficient score that can kind of take the pressure off of Ant-Man just a little bit if he kind of get rattled. LeBron, because it's LeBron, King James, he's going to bring that IQ. You feel me? And then Joel Embiid, because Joel Embiid is just a monster in that low post, and I think he's going to give a lot of teams problems in that low post. My only thing about Joel Embiid is I think he's also going to get a lot of foul troubles. That's why you keep AD on standby, and I think that's why AD might wind up finishing a lot of games. But still, that will be my starting five: Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards, KD, LeBron, and Joel Embiid. Man, tell me what y'all think about that starting five. You feel me? All right. Now that I talked about the teams USA, I gave my predictions and what I think is going to go down and why I believe they will bring gold home. Both women's and men will bring home the gold. I said it here. But let's talk about and let's go switch it over to the NFL now. One of the most hated teams in the NFL, because I know I'm one of the guys that kind of hate this team. You feel me? Probably like in my top 5, top 3, somewhere in that category that I hate the most. Is having troubles, always having troubles. They now got 3 of their star players in contract situations. 3 of their 3 top stars. But one of their top stars I'm gonna talk about right now is none other who's wearing 88 now for the Dallas Cowboys, Mr. Ceedee Lamb. This guy is a top 10 wide receiver in this game, and Dallas is not looking at him as such. And Dallas Cowboys fans, I know y'all got to be a little exhausted and pissed off and all that, because once again, y'all owner, y'all GM, Jerry Jones, said that he was going all in this upcoming offseason. And when he said he was going all in, Cowboys fans was jumping and raving like, this is going to be our year. Jerry Jones wouldn't lie to us. So far, it's looking like this guy is starting to lie to y'all again. And Cowboys fans, I don't know what else to say to y'all, man. To all my Cowboys fans, my guy Kenny from Real Talk, my favorite ladies from Locked In Sports, and the rest of the Cowboys nation out here. How do y'all feel about Ceedee Lamb holding out of camp? Y'all top wide receiver. How do y'all feel about y'all Jerry Jones setting y'all up for failure again? Because that's exactly what he's doing. Only move that this guy made was bringing Zeke back. That's it. The Dallas Cowboys news is just like under the carpet. You just keep walking over because they haven't did anything this whole entire fucking offseason. And I just don't understand why y'all keep claiming to be the best team, America's team, and all the rest of this bull. And y'all can't even get a right team. Y'all can't even try to keep your best players happy, satisfied, content, something in that nature. Because if I'm Ceedee Lamb, I wouldn't show up, man, because it feels like that the Dallas Cowboys is probably going to have to pay 2 out of y'all 3. And I think it's a toss-up between Ceedee Lamb and Dak Prescott, who's going to be the guys that's probably going to get left out. I think the Dallas Cowboys is going to wind up paying Micah Parsons because, in my opinion, Micah Parsons, he is a top five pass rusher in the game. But for some strange reason, man, towards the end of the season, man, he goes from top 5 to maybe top 10. He's no longer effective in all his offices. A lot of people saying, oh, double teams this and double team that. TJ Watt get double team a lot. Still leading the league in sacks, right along with him and Myles Garrett. So, and then y'all be waving about, oh, Michael Parsons can line up here and all that. And I think that's where he's going to be able to get his contract because he can line up in multiple positions. He can be your DN. He can be your outside linebacker. He can possibly maybe, I don't think he's going to get the D tackle money, but you can line him up as a D tackle. So by him being so versatile, I think the Cowboys will wind up paying him. But for Ceedee Lamb, I don't know, Doug. It's not really looking good. And like I said, they ain't trying to take care of a top 10 wide receiver in this game, man, because he's showing you that he's your number one threat. When it comes to receptions, this guy had 135 receptions, and he was first in the league. When it comes to yards, this guy had 1749, which was second in the league. When it comes to touchdowns, he's not shy of crossing the end zone. This guy has 12 touchdowns last year, which made him third in the whole entire league. And you want to know what's crazy? Out of those top statistics that everybody talks about and raves about, he's 1, 2, and 3. He's 1, 2, and 3, which means dates back to what I said. It's going to be a juggling field of who do you keep, Dak Prescott, Ceedee Lamb, who do you pay, who's worth more. Do you think that Dak Prescott, who was throwing Ceedee Lamb the ball? Dak Prescott. Who was catching all Dak Prescott passes, really? Ceedee Lamb. And you're having contract disputes with these two guys? Ceedee Lamb, like I said, man, he's in those statistic categories, so he's 1, 2, and 3. That means there's nobody's better than him in receptions. There's one guy better than him in yards, and there's 2 guys better than him in touchdowns for a wide receiver. So, Cowboys fans, I know you're frustrated. I know you're hot. I know you're pissed. I know you're upset, sweating, crying, and all that other stuff, and probably still going to claim that the Cowboys are the number 1 team in the NFL. Good riddance. I feel sorry. You know what I mean? If I'm Ceedee Lamb, man, I wouldn't step back onto the field. I wouldn't. Man, you already seen that if injuries is bound to happen, Dallas is not really going to look to help you out because Dak Prescott was hurt during this contract. And they still not looking to, try to bring him back. And I believe that he's the best option right now as far as quarterback. Because what you going to do? Try to throw Trey Lance as the next guy up, hoping that he can be a Jordan Love or be a Aaron Rodgers behind Brett Favre? Like, come on, man. Like, Cowboys fans, I know you got to be upset. You got to be frustrated, man. Ceedee Lamb, like I said, Don't show up to camp. There's no reason for you to show up to camp this year, man. Get your money. You only set to make 18 mil, man, and you're a top 10 in all these damn categories. And like I said, man, the Cowboys fans, let me go ahead and say this once again, and I'm probably going to keep saying it every year until Jerry Jones is no longer part of your organization. The Cowboys will not win any big games, as far as like the Super Bowl or anything in that nature, until Jerry Jones is no longer part of your organization. He cursed your organization. The organization is dead right now. Y'all can go ahead and have a shining star on the side of your helmet. Y'all feel like, ooh, look at those Cowboys. I understand y'all probably going to get the most talked about during this season because there's really no good news in the Dallas Cowboys organization right now. Mike McCarthy is almost out the door. Dak Prescott, almost out the door. Ceedee Lamb could possibly be almost out the door too. Now, Ceedee Lamb should be getting paid almost just under Justin Jefferson in my eyes. That Justin Jefferson contract, Ceedee Lamb should have just a little bit underneath of that. Because if the Minnesota Vikings is willing to pay Justin Jefferson all that money, and the guy who didn't play that many games last year, Ceedee Lamb played 17 games last year. He's showing that he's durable, he's available, and the best ability is availability. So I really just think that Ceedee Lamb should get paid. And if I'm Ceedee Lamb, until the Dallas Cowboys either give me that money or be like Brandon Ayuk, request a trade and see where we can go from there. You know what I mean? It's just crazy that these top 10 wide receivers, these top 10 players, man, is just having a hard time getting their monies. Like, you ask them to perform, they outdid their contracts, and yet you still don't want to pay them. Ceedee Lamb, we had questions like a couple years ago, was he a true number one? He must have heard all the rumbling, heard all the noise, and he's really showed us why that he is a true number one in this game. Elite, I give him not elite. He has great routes. He run great routes. He has good hands. Finds his way into the end zone. As I said, he got 12. It's like, what more do you want from this guy? You know what I mean? It's like, do you want him to toss the ball, to throw the ball, and catch the ball to himself? Do you want him to be a Debo also, become a versatile wide receiver, like a running back and all this other bull? No. He's a true wide receiver. Pay the man. Dallas Cowboys, man, just so frustrating, man. But while we on this football segment, man, like I said in the top of the show, we didn't already talk about how the NFL is starting to get his slow buzz. It's starting to hear a little rants and raves. Players not reporting to camp. Players still hasn't fully recovered from injuries from last year. Stuff like that. So it's like NFL is starting to be buzzed. We are like a couple, let's just say 5 to 6 Sundays away from opening day. For opening week, let me say that. Opening week. It's like, woo! We are now coming to the close. We are coming to the tail end of July. August is going to go just like that. You know what I mean? That's 5 weeks right there in August. So why not go ahead and start another little controversy and start talking about top 10 running backs, top 10 quarterbacks, top 10 running backs. You feel me? And we're going to start off this segment with the top 10 quarterbacks. Now, I understand a lot of people is probably not going to agree with me. A lot of people is probably going to have a little backlash on this. But I'm for the smoke. I'm all for it. So bring it on. And like I said in the comments, go ahead and tell me your top 10 quarterbacks. Because that's what we're starting off with. As number one, as we already know who's number one is really not to give him a long introduction and why. It's Patrick Mahomes. I think Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in this league right now. He already showed you that multiple rings. He already has an MVP. And he just keep on winning games where we just don't really believe that this guy should be winning, but he just keep on winning. Number 2, I understand that it's not biased, that this is just what I really think. Lamar Jackson is the number 2, is my number 2 quarterback in this league, man. He's a 2-time MVP. He's the best dual threat quarterback that NFL is possibly ever going to see. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that. He is the best dual threat quarterback we've seen so far. When you can just go ahead and build a team around this one particular player, and this one particular player just keep on showing up. Now, I understand that, yes, he hasn't won deep into the playoffs yet. I get it. But I just really feel like that Lamar Jackson is number 2. Number 3 is C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud has put the league on notice. I understand that, yes, he only had one season last year, but that one season was not supposed to go like that in C.J. Stroud favors, as us analytics were saying. We were saying that C.J. Stroud is probably going to be this upcoming season is his season. No, he showed us otherwise. And I think that C.J. Stroud is the number 3 quarterback in my eyes. Number 4, we're going to go with Jalen Hurts. And a lot of people wants to go down on Jalen Hurts. But remember, just after his Super Bowl run, he was the number 2 quarterback after that year. Just because he had a hurt year last year, I don't think he should be able to fall that deep. Jalen Hurts still was able to produce 1,000-yard wide receiver. He was still able to throw over 3,000 yards. Jalen Hurts just had to just deal with nagging injuries. You feel me? Jalen Hurts still was able. It wasn't just Jalen Hurts, but the Eagles were still able to have a winning season. So I just think that Jalen Hurts is most definitely number 4. Number 5 is going to have to go with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow, understand that he didn't play a full season last year. But when Joe Burrow was playing the year before, he was already kind of saying, people were saying that he could possibly be MVP. That he was the guy, he is the guy that was taking down Mahomes by himself. The only quarterback, that can be able to do that. So Joe Burrow most definitely has to be up here. This number 6 would be Josh Allen. I think that Josh Allen is the best gunslinger that we have in the game right now. Sometimes he make bad decisions, but he have a strong arm, and I think that he's the second best dual threat quarterback right now in the NFL. Not all time, but right now in NFL. Josh Allen sometimes he just need to stop trying to win the game by himself. That's my only downfall with Josh Allen. Number 7 will be Brock Purdy. I understand that a lot of people probably like Brock Purdy. Yes, Brock Purdy was in MVP conversation last year. If Brock Purdy probably would have, if the 49ers would have beat the Ravens late in the season last year, Brock Purdy and CMC would have been 1-2 or 1-3 for your MVP. Just keep it a buck. I understand that people were saying, well, he's a system quarterback. Well, you got to build a system to be for this quarterback, or you got to find the right quarterback for this system. And Kyle Shanahan found the right quarterback in Brock Purdy, and Brock Purdy is living up to, he's living up to higher expectations that we had for Brock Purdy. So Brock Purdy is number 7. Jared Goff is number 8. And I know a lot of people saying, damn, Jared Goff. Jared Goff always had potential of being a good quarterback. He just didn't fit with the quarterback with the Rams in my eyes. So what he did last year with the Lions and the year before, you can see that Jared Goff was starting to wrap up. And Jared Goff was also in the MVP conversation before he met the Ravens. So I think Jared Goff is the 8th. Number 9 will come Tua. Tua, I believe, is a great quarterback. Shout out to him for getting his money today. Didn't really read all his exclusives and what his pay is. Check my shorts out, and I will give y'all that information. But I think that Tua, only thing about Tua is that he hasn't showed that he can win deep into the playoffs. He hasn't showed that he can win games in late December and January. That is the only downfall of Tua. Tua can put up the yards. Tua can put up the touchdowns, especially if we can say that Brock Purdy is a system quarterback. Tua fits right with this Dolphin system. So he's number 9. And number 10 was a toss-up. It was a toss-up a little bit. I had to go back and forth, and I almost forgot this guy because he is one of the baddest guys in the regular season, and that's Aaron Rodgers. The guy I was going back and forth with was Jordan Love. Jordan Love is showing that potential of where you want him to be. I think that's the reason why he's fighting for a contract. But Aaron Rodgers is multiple-time MVP. He's showing you that during the regular season, Aaron Rodgers is probably the best guy, the best quarterback that you can actually want during the regular season. You can see that the Jets offense was solely relying on Aaron Rodgers. And once he went down, that whole system went down. So I just think that Aaron Rodgers is going to have a lot to prove, especially at this age, that he can come back from a torn Achilles. And like I said, during the regular season, Aaron Rodgers is a bad man. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to pick against him. So there go my top 10 quarterbacks in the league. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, CJ Stroud, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, Tua Tagovailoa, and Aaron Rodgers. Got a couple of comments. Let's see. Let's see what we got. My man Mike B said Stroud at number 3, controversial. Yes, I'm pretty sure it's going to be controversial. You feel me? But like I said, CJ Stroud really, he wasn't supposed to step on the scene the way he did last year. You know what I mean? CJ Stroud finished in the top 10 in a lot of categories and as a quarterback. So that's why I put CJ Stroud up that high. In my eyes, yes, I understand that it was just off of one season, but off that one season, it was more impressive for a rookie that we've seen in a while. So that's why I had to put CJ Stroud up there. My guy, he was just on the show last week, my man B. Harley. What's up, my man? Can't wait to have you back on the show again, man. So yeah, they were my top 10 quarterbacks. Now, let's get to the big dogs, you feel me? Let's get to the top 10 running backs that's coming into this year, you feel me? And as we already know, in my opinion, I just think that one guy we already know is going to be number 1. Christian McCaffrey, man. CMC most definitely is the number 1 running back. He's the most versatile running back that one of the most versatile running backs that we have in this game, man. CMC can most definitely is an all-purpose running back and catch out the backfield, and he also not scared and showed the ability that he can go in between tackles also. And like I said, if the 49ers was able to beat the Ravens last year, I think that he would have won MVP. So I think that CMC most definitely should be number 1 running back. Number 2, it got to be King Henry. I understand a lot of people saying that he had a down year last year, but look what team he was playing with, the Tennessee Titans. They didn't build no other type of offense other than run, Henry, run. And with all that, man, Henry still was able to be a 1,000-yard rusher. He was still able to be able to see the end zone, and he was also had passing touchdowns also. So Derrick Henry, I'm not saying that you look to pass and he's a dual threat running back, anything in that nature, but who wants to see Derrick Henry on a downhill slide, especially on that stiff arm? So Derrick Henry's number 2. Now, number 3 is probably going to raise another controversial, but number 3 is going to have to be Nick Chubb from the Cleveland Browns, man. If he didn't get hurt last year, the Browns would have been a scary team, especially the way Joe Flacco came to play for the Browns towards the end of the season. Like, if he had a Nick Chubb that he can just hand off a lot, I don't think that Joe Flacco would be able to throw the ball as much as he did last year, or that passing game would have went to another level. Because Nick Chubb is most definitely a top 5 running back in this game. Like I said, it wasn't for that injury, man, top 3. And if y'all not paying attention to his recovery, man, this guy is already squatting over 400 pounds after like 8 months after surgery. Whew, that is a freak of nature. So my Ravens defense has got to get prepared for him this upcoming season twice a year. But Nick Chubb is my number 3. Number 4 is probably going to be another controversy, Joe Mixon. If you haven't watched Joe Mixon play, please go watch him and understand why he is my number 4 running back. Joe Mixon is most definitely a monster. Cincinnati is going to miss him, let him go down to Houston Texans. Because Joe Mixon can most definitely run between tackles. He's not scared of contact, and he can catch out the backfield being elusive. So that's why Joe Mixon is most definitely my top 4. Number 5 is going to be Saquon Barkley. Saquon would have been higher if he can just stay healthy. That's my only pick with Saquon. But now that you go to the Philadelphia Eagles with a healthy Jalen Hurts, with that A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith in that passing game, I think Saquon doesn't have to do as much as he had to do with the New York Giants. So if he don't have to do as much, I think that he will have an easier game. You know what I mean? Which means it won't be a lot of toll on his body. So Saquon Barkley will come number 5. Number 6 is another running back that I think that is a stud, a diamond in the rough. And only if Aaron Rodgers was able to stay healthy, he would have had 1,000 yards, in my opinion. It would have been Breece Hall for the New York Jets. He had 994 rushing yards last year, but man, coming off of ACL, nobody didn't expect Shorty to even clips over 600 yards rushing. So with Aaron Rodgers coming back and Breece Hall being in that backfield, I really just think that Breece Hall is the number 7 will be Jahmyr Gibbs from the Detroit Lions. Gibbs is most definitely showing you that he's the up and coming star in this running back, man, because a lot of people just thought, and these guys both almost ran for 1,000 yards last year. So I just think that if Jahmyr Gibbs get more touches, which I think that he will this year, I think that he will eclipse that 1,000 yards, and that's why I got him up there. Number 8 is going to be Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is a monster, and I felt like when the Raiders had McDaniels as their guy, as their play caller, they didn't use Jacobs effective. This guy is an automatically 1,000-yard back. And y'all would think that he runs so aggressive and everything that this guy can't catch out the backfield, that Josh Jacobs can surprisingly catch out the backfield. And I think that the Green Bay Packers got to steal since they letting Aaron Jones go, that you still get a stud in a running back, 1,000-yard running back that can help Jordan Love whenever they get that contract situation together. So I just think that putting him up there, Josh Jacobs, is most definitely a stud. Number 9 would be Bijan Robinson for the Atlanta Falcons. I think that if Atlanta get their offensive line together, that Bijan Robinson is going to be very scary. Now that they got Kirk Cousins that can command the offense, and hopefully they can get the ball to Drake London or the other wide receivers that they have down there, I just think that will really help out Bijan Robinson to get there. What's that number? What was that like? All right, so I think I was in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so number 10. Number 10 was also had a toss-up too. And I'm going to go with Stromile Swift to come around to round off my top 10 running backs, man. It was between him and Kyren Williams from the Los Angeles Rams. I just think that those two running backs is a hit or miss. You can't go wrong. But I'm going to go ahead and pick Stromile Swift, man. Stromile Swift really show you. I see why Philly moved and went to Saquon Barkley's direction, but Stromile Swift is a monster. He's also a dual threat. He's also a guy that can catch out the backfield and get elusive. There's also a guy that can run between tackles. And I think that Stromile Swift is really not Stromile Swift. I'm so sorry, y'all. Oh man, I got the basketball player on my mind, not Stromile Swift, DeAndre Swift. I'm sorry. And I think that he really going to help the Chicago Bears out with Caleb Williams with their rookie quarterback. You already got good wide receiver play. You got a great running back that can hold his own. Also, so Swift is most definitely going to be my 10th running back, man. I can't believe I was saying some damn Miles Swift, man. Oh man. Let's see what we got. Josh Jacobs. Yes. Josh Jacobs. Gotta go back, Harley, man. I understand that you as a Raiders fan and you're probably a little upset that he moved on, but that guy he was a 1,000-yard back when he was with y'all. It was just your boy McDaniels holding him back from getting 1,000 yards. So I can clearly see him most definitely getting there. Yeah, man, DeAndre Swift. I know, man. Y'all, whew, I don't know why Miles Swift was on my mind. You can tell my age right there, man, because a lot of these young generations will not know anything about Miles Swift and the Vancouver Grizzlies. So yeah, man, that's my top 10 running backs, man. So far. Not at all. I'm just saying he should be top 5. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, Josh Jacobs. It was hard trying to place him in my top 5 because, like I said, it's Nick Chubb was really the guy that really just came in and just like kind of stole the spotlight from a lot of these running backs because my list was almost done. And I was just going, I was like, how can I forget about Nick Chubb? You know, so it really kind of bumped a lot of people down. But yeah, don't get me wrong, Josh Jacobs is my guy. Maybe 3 on the list. Like I said, I wouldn't say that you're wrong. I wouldn't argue with it. Because like I said, a lot of people don't know about Josh Jacobs, and Josh Jacobs is a monster. And I can't wait for him to show that up in Green Bay this year. All right. Let's get down to the last skill position, you feel me? Or one of the last, because I didn't put tight ends. Tight ends is going to be later. But wide receivers. My top 10 wide receivers. And I ain't gonna lie. Y'all probably will be mad at me. Because man, oh man, I had trouble trying to figure out my top 10 because it was just like, oh, I can put this person. No, I can't add this person because I got to put this person. No, I can't do it because I got to do. Whew! This was a tough one. You feel me? So, let me go ahead and kick it to y'all. Number 1 wide receiver will go to Tyreek Hill. And I know a lot of people probably say, yay, no, but screw me. Tyreek Hill is my number 1 because this guy, I was thinking that this guy, the way the season that he was having last year, that he was going to eclipse that 2,000 receiving yards. I really thought he was. And I think that if it wasn't for him getting injured towards the end of the season, we probably, I think he would have came close. Because, man, nobody can really touch his speed. If you're not going to jam him face down tackle really behind him, catching him, and it's just like his route running is just like, it's really good. Like, really, really good. You feel up there because we all had questions like Tyreek Hill wasn't going to be that guy if he wasn't with Patrick Mahomes. Clearly, he became that guy without Patrick Mahomes. So, Davante Adams. Yes. Uncle Adams, Uncle Davante in my eyes, man, because number 1, man, nobody, I mean nobody, runs crisp, elite routes than Davante Adams. I think that Davante Adams should run a route running school, man. He has to. He's looking real crazy, man. Davante Adams, and he just keep on being top 5 in a lot of statistic categories. I'm gonna have to go with Davante Adams, number 2. Number 3, Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs has to be a top 5 wide receiver, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people. I think Stephon Stephon Diggs over Case Keenum. Now, I understand he had Josh Allen in his last couple of years and a championship, but Stephon Diggs is also another wide receiver who has crisp routes. Who I believe I'm not going to run. He can run any route on the tree. You can line him up anywhere, outside, inside. And he's just a dog. He is just a dog, man. And you just can't sleep on Stephon Diggs. Number 4 would be Justin Jefferson. I just need my guy JJ to stay healthy this year to really show you that reason why he got that contract. Justin Jefferson, man, Mr. Gritty himself, or one of the Mr. Gritty guys, is a top 5 wide receiver. And he did it with Kirk Cousins, and I understand Kirk Cousins is a decent quarterback and everything, but I think that now that we just about to see a better year coming in this upcoming season, and he got hands, just spectacular. And Jefferson really doesn't have a lot of drop passes in the game, so that's why he's my number 4. Since he came into the league, it was a problem. Most definitely a problem on that one. But any other time when Joe Burrow is healthy and ready to go, Jamar Chase is that guy. You know what I mean? When people was questioning him towards the end of the season, that is he still that guy? He answered the questions. He showed you that he can be a consistent 1,000-yard guy. He showed you that he has to be number 1. And Higgins and Wiggins. No. Yeah. You know, Jamar Chase. Ceedee Lamb. I talked about him in the beginning of the show. Showed you his accolades earlier. He was top 3 in touchdowns, receptions, and yards. Ceedee Lamb most definitely has to be considered as a top 10 wide receiver, man. And I can't wait to see what Mr. get the drug test on him. AJ Brown is the top 10 wide receiver, man. He's like the only wide receiver that had multiple games with 3+ touchdowns in a season. You know what I mean? So AJ Brown is most definitely got to get his respect. Another guy that's up, shorty can really ball, man. And that's what Detroit really need. They haven't had a good wide receiver, in my opinion, since Megatron. And I think that St. Brown is really showing you that he can be the number 1 option, that he will be a problem in the next couple of years, in these upcoming years. You feel me? Another one, Mr. Consecutive 10,000-yard receptions, and Mike Evans. Mike Evans, doesn't matter who his quarterback is, he's going to get 1,000 yards. And that's why he's really on my top 10, because he's consistent. He doesn't have to have a big name quarterback. He's out there to do his job every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whenever his time or whenever his number's being called. Mike Evans is ready. So he's my number 9. And then number 10, I'm going to have to go with Brandon Ayuk. Me and my guy, B. Harley, had a conversation last week about Brandon Ayuk. And he showed you that just with 75 catches, he was still to get over 1,000 yards and not being the number 1 option in San Francisco. So I believe that if you can give him more touches, more opportunities, and once he get that bag, you feel me, he is most definitely going to be a problem. I don't understand why San Francisco is having a hard time trying to pay him. He is number 1 wide receiver. You see that a lot of teams is really thinking about offering a number 1 for this guy. So there go my top 10 wide receivers: Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Ceedee Lamb, AJ Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Mike Evans, and Brandon Ayuk is my top 10 wide receivers. And my guy Mike B said my silent It was a solid wide receiver list. Thank you, my guy. You feel me? So NFL like is back, is starting to get back to its grind, man. Can't wait. As my guy Mike B will say for real that it's no better time than football time. You know what I mean? He knows what that means, you feel me? And I can't wait to this NFL season starting up, man. And while we at it on NFL, let's go ahead and give out my random thought of the NFL season real quick, man. NFL season is trying to expand its games to 18 games. And so far, there's no set stone yet that it actually will. But it's looking like that everybody is going to agree to this 18-game season. And I think it's a good look for the NFL because, number one, us NFL fans, we get more NFL games. And I think that the way that this league is producing is we should get more games. Now, I understand that, yes, it's going to be a little soft on certain calls, certain plays and stuff like that. But I think that the way that the NFL is growing, you have to go to 18 games. Most definitely, these teams deserve to have 2 bye weeks in this 18-game season because if there's going to be a lot of injuries and stuff like that, I just think that having 2 bye weeks to help these teams nurture their injuries will do good for them. Number 2, I think that you will have to up the roster size a little bit. Not like no college roster that have all those players on the sideline and stuff like that. But I do just think that you probably have to go from 56-man roster to at least close to 65, maybe. So I really just think that they should up the roster size a little bit too for this 18-game season. And maybe that in the playoffs, that maybe you can add one more team that can be added to the playoffs. Maybe we can get a solid 8 teams into the playoffs. You know what I mean? That just something. I know that 8th team is probably going to be a stretch. We just got you know what I mean, just broke it down to having one team having a bye week. But that's just something to think about, and how I just think that the NFL is moving. I just think that if we're going to go to this 18-game season, man, make sure that these teams have more depth, roster depth, roster depth, and you add bye weeks, one more bye week to this. And I think that it will be a successful 18-game season. So what's your opinion on that? Make sure y'all comment on below and tell me what's your opinion on that one. Should the NFL go to 18 games? If you feel so, tell me why. If not, still tell me your opinion. You feel me? So that's going to be right there and wrap up the show. You feel me? I greatly appreciate everybody that commented, that viewed on here, man. Because like I said, this show thrives off of y'all. You feel me? Not just off of me and my energy and my knowledge. You feel me? But like I said in the beginning of the show, man, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to my channel as I'm trying to grow to 1,000 subscribers. So tell a friend who can be a friend, who possibly wanted to be a friend, that MTMO Sports Podcast is the dope sports podcast that you want to get your information from. You feel me? So big shout outs to everybody right now. I think right now I am currently sitting at 199. Like, let's keep this train rolling, baby, because MTMO ain't just going to stop. Also, that next week will be, is it next week? Yes, next week will be my anniversary show. So I'm getting things set up for a dope show. So please make sure y'all tune in for my 3-year anniversary show. Also, shout out to my peoples. You feel me? Always my favorite ladies, Locked In Sports. Shout out to my girl Belly Bell for becoming a head coach of a high school basketball team. Hopefully I can get you on this platform so we can chop it up and talk about it and celebrate your accomplishment, man, because I'm pretty sure that was one of your goals that you set yourself out for. I am proud of you for actually achieving that goal. Shout out to my girl Lisa also for all the great things that she's been covering. She has been traveling a lot. especially going to WNBA games too. So make sure y'all check out my favorite ladies, Locked In Sports, as they is growing and showing out for the women's sports. You feel me? Shout out to my guy B Harley, who was on the show last week. If y'all haven't followed him already, go to Holla at Harley Podcast, man. Real dope show, real dope podcast. Give you that barbershop feel. So make sure y'all go check him out. Shout out to I just had my guy on. Yeah, shout out to you and all the basketball tournaments that you is out here doing, man. Very proud of you and your tournaments that you are doing, man. So that's all the that I'm going to give out right now. Like I said, man, make sure y'all tell everybody to come join MTMO Sports. I'm out. Catch you next Friday, anniversary show.